Welcome back. It's Gary from Living in Toronto. And if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in this great city of Toronto, what it's like to work, live, eat, sleep, play, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button and you're going to want to hit the bell. That way you're notified of all new videos in the future. Now, with any area in any city, there's always pros and cons. And that's why you're here. I'm here to help you, to tell you the pros and cons. So without further ado, let's get on to the 5 pros and cons of living in the neighborhood in Toronto known as the ANNEX. Pro number 1, because of its location, the ANNEX is the hub for museums, its proximity to the University of Toronto, and it features beautiful tree-lined streets with Victorian homes. And that in itself is plus number 1, pro number 1, because of its location. Pro number 2, it's very vibrant. The atmosphere in the ANNEX is vibrant. You've got young professionals, you've got students because of proximity to the University of Toronto, you've got nightlife, it's very young, and vibrant. And that's number 2. Pro number 3, dining and entertainment. There is an abundance of cafes, restaurants, cultural events, theater. This makes it the ideal location to live in. If you're that type of person, you can walk to these things safely and walk home again. Everything is right at your fingertips. Pro number 4, green space. Despite where it's located in the heart of the city, there's all kinds of green space, and there's a very famous park called Christie Pitts, which offers a great retreat from the city living. Number 5, charm. This neighborhood is charming. It's got a collection of Victorian and Edwardian homes, tree-lined streets, which make it visually appealing, and it's a place that many people aspire to live. As with every positive, there are negatives. Negative number 1, con number 1 about living in the ANNEX, the cost of living. Because it's such a popular neighborhood and a lot of people want to live there, rents are higher, the cost of buying is higher, everything is just that extra little bit higher. Con number 2, parking. Because of the lack of parking and the permit restrictions with regards to parking on the street, it can be very challenging. So if you're living in that neighborhood and you're having a few people over for dinner, they're going to probably drive around the block 4 or 5 times, deciding on where they're going to park and then have to walk to your house. This can be a bit of a negative. Con number 3, which ties into one of the positives I said earlier, I said it's vibrant. Now, that can also be a negative. It's very lively. So if you are looking for an area of the city that might be a little more quieter, this area may not be for you because it's young, the students, there's parties. It may not be what you're looking for from the noise perspective. Con number 4, overcrowding. Because there's so many people packed into this neighborhood, don't forget, all the students are there. The majority of the students are in that neighborhood. It leads to overcrowding on public transit, overcrowding of a place, a park like Christie Pitts. It's jammed. That's a negative for a lot of people. Con number 5, student housing. The neighborhood is full of student housing, and this really creates coming and going, if you will, of people throughout the school year. And for some people, that might be a real turnoff. There's no real sense of a stable community, so to speak, if that makes sense or not. So that can be a turnoff of living in this neighborhood. So there you have it, the very brief 5 pros and cons of living in the ANNEX. Now, if you want to know more information about this neighborhood, all you got to do is reach out day or night. You can call, you can text, you can email. The number's on the screen. I look forward to helping you. As a matter of fact, I help dozens of people every week with their move to Toronto or with their move from within the city, and I can help you too, but you got to reach out. See you on the next one.